I only made 20% extra, I would be able to save, invest, and pay off my debts. That is what most people would say because they are thinking of what they don't have instead of working with what they have. That is, assuming at the beginning of the year you're earning 100,000, you got an increment to 20%, which is 120, maybe 50,000, it went up to 60,000. But in your mind, you're always looking forward to that increment instead of making do with what you have. Sometimes you actually get to that increment, but the difference between what you are making and the increment is eaten up by lifestyle, taxes, food, impulse buying, inflation, and all those things, ending up leaving you in the same situation. So in today's episode, we are going to take stock of the first half of the year as we rethink of what we are going to do in the next half. So this video will give you a picture of what the first half has been like. Then in a subsequent video, we are going to strategize on the way forward as we go into the second half of the year. Hello good people, Jessie is my name. Then this is the Money and Growth Circle, where we are working towards financial peace and ultimately financial freedom. If this is your kind of content, you can consider joining the circle by subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that every time we have a new upload, you will be notified. Let's get to the video. We are going to look at two people and how their life has changed between January and to date, or how their life has remained stagnant. Person A was earning 50,000, now they're earning 60,000. Person B was earning 100,000, did not get an increment, is still at 100,000. So when you hear the word increment, because our perception looks at increment as growth, you expect that maybe your lifestyle will change, because remember, there is that notion behind us that keeps on telling us that the next time you get an increment, you're going to start doing what you are not already doing. So before you think of your savings, you find lifestyle creeps, debt repayment overwhelms, of course there is inflation, then there is impulse buying. They take over the increment before you even feel it, not forgetting the taxes. So ideally, you get an increment on paper, but in essence, your life either remains the same or gets worse, because perhaps in your mind you're also feeling like you have extra, so you end up trying to use that extra for other purposes. I don't know whether you're getting. Yes, your income has grown. Your desire was to get the 20% increment, which you did, but when you look at the numbers, you're not seeing where it is going because it has been consumed by unnecessary expenses. Not that lifestyle is bad, but if you were surviving before that increment, then you should be able to use that increment for a better purpose instead of adding on to your lifestyle, because you continue digging a deeper hole for yourself. You find maybe you are living in a cheaper house, you feel like you have now become rich because of the increment, and you want to move to another house, you want to move to another estate. Remember, we said delayed gratification is more than the celebration today. If you live in the same house, if you continue having the same lifestyle, you save, you invest, you are growing your wealth. And maybe if you're consistent and you keep growing your investment, that desire that you have, you will achieve it through growing your investment, not just growing your expenses. So let's look at the other person who was earning 100,000. So they didn't get an increment, but this is how their allocation looks like. From the 100,000, and please note, the computation is based on net income. Like I've said before, we cannot assess based on gross income because deductions vary. Okay, so let's break down the income. 100,000, that person spends 30,000 repaying debts. And perhaps some of the debts they are repaying is consumer debt, which I categorize as bad debts, which means you're actually paying for something that is not adding value to your life or to your financial status. Let's always avoid bad debt, and remember that debt is not bad. Consumer debt is the debt which is bad. But if you get debt to build your income, which will generate income in return, then it becomes easier. Number 2, he spends 65,000 on lifestyle. So basically, he's only left with 5,000, which he's supposed to save and invest. With 5,000, by the time you actually get to make strides with an income of 100,000, it takes you time, and you actually have an opportunity to use 20% of your income. So ideally, that person is supposed to be saving and investing 20,000, but 15,000 of that amount has been taken up by debts and lifestyle. That is the first half of the year. So if you get an opportunity to get a raise, that means you already have a deficit. And instead of increasing the 20% saving and investment, you find yourself covering up for the debt that you have already incurred. But what I always say, all is not lost. At least you have something to spare, because there's someone who is even earning more and they cannot be able to spare anything for investment every month. So at least there is hope when you have at least that 5,000. Remember the person I said was earning 50,000, got an increment and is now earning 60,000. So this is how his budget looks like. He's spending 5,000 paying debts, 35,000 on lifestyle, and 20,000 on investing and spending. So that answers our question that income is not the problem. How you spend your income is the problem. Between January and now, that is 6 months, the person who is earning 60,000 has saved 120,000, which is even more than their 1 month salary. The person who is earning 100,000 has now saved 5,000 times 6, 30,000, which is only 30% of their income. Who is actually wealthier? Of course, the one who is earning 60,000. Our task today is to do an audit of where you are. Take out your notebook, write down all your assets and all your liabilities. Let's see where you were in January and how you have grown by June. Are you in the same position? Have you grown? Have you depreciated? Has your net worth appreciated? Let's just get to understand, so that when we start growing the net worth in the next half of the year, it will be very clear where you are at the beginning of the year, where you have reached today by mid-year, what you will have achieved by the end of the year. When you have the real numbers, you will be able to push yourself to achieve what you set yourself to achieve. For the next 30 days, take this challenge. Freeze your lifestyle expenses and only stick to needs and wants that are very necessary. And if you have anything to spare at the end of the month, put it towards repaying high interest debts. And if you don't have debts, put the money aside for emergency fund if you don't already have an emergency fund. And if you do have an emergency fund, it's time to start investing. Step number 3, you're going to look at a backup plan, which means if you only have one source of income, create a second one. Take time to analyze what is that service or product you can sell to people. What is that speciality that you have that people can pay for? And remember, people pay for value, not for you just saying, or just doing or just giving a product. If I see value in what you're providing, I will pay for it. If I go, even sometimes, if like now you're selling a product, sometimes even the way you package the product means a lot to the person who is buying. If I come to pick a product and I find the wrapper looking all worn out, maybe the packaging looks already old and it is still in the supermarket, I won't be attracted. But then again, that does not mean you spend a lot of money investing in packaging while you're still growing a business. Look for a simple packaging that will make me feel, say, like if it's food stuff, that will give me comfort that the food is hygienically packed. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Has your income increased this year? Has your debt reduced this year? Has your savings increased this year? And because we are running the 52-week saving challenge, are you within the target that you set for yourself? The fourth thing is, have I acquired any assets this year? The fifth, how long would I survive if my main source of income is stopped for 3 months? These questions matter whether the 20% increment you're eyeing comes or not. That is what you need to understand and be able to know where you are and where you want to go. The main goal of this exercise of undertaking the mid-year review is not to make more money, but to keep more, invest more, and own more. Income will increase by itself when assets increase. So let's engage in the comment section. Which is your biggest challenge right now? Managing debt, managing inflation, controlling your lifestyle expenses, increasing income, or building wealth? In our next episode, I'm going to share a story of someone who sat down, analyzed, and realized that they need to work on their debt situation. Someone who analyzed and understood that he cannot survive on a sole income, and they also need to work on their debt. He decided to take a second job, which helped him pay off the debt and grow their assets. Let's engage in the comment section with what you're struggling with so that we can consider it in our next episode as we look for a solution in getting better in the next half. If you have conquered or exceeded your expectation in the first half of the year, good job. Keep going, keep shining. On to the next target of achieving your next milestone. Okay? So see you on our next episode, and make sure you're subscribed, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss the subsequent episodes. So thank you so much for watching this video.